I knew baseball was over for me. And then it was from that day and for many years after where my world got turned upside down from a life of addiction. I mean, pills, pain pills, Vicodin, Oxycontin, Percocet. Thank God fentanyl wasn't around when I was
Sure.
using, because I probably wouldn't be here today. But if I couldn't get those Xanax Valium, I just love prescription pills, the downers. I did a lot of other drugs, but the pills are really what had its grip on me. And that went on for years. And then my life got so bad, and things happened in my addiction, like having an overdose. I overdosed in Mexico once, and my brother and brother-in-law had to come pick me up from a hospital in Mexico, drive me back to Arizona, and the next day they tried to do an intervention on me, and I'm like, I don't have a problem. I'm not going to rehab. I'm not stopping my life for 30 days. Like, I got stuff to do, and I had
Mhm.
nothing going on in my life, but just the delusion of like thinking I didn't have a problem, but really I was just scared to stop my life because I thought there's this stigma around going to treatment and what's everybody else going to think, and rehab is for losers. Yet like,
Mhm.
here I am, my life is like spinning and spiraling. My parents are worried sick, but I just wasn't ready. So I just went to meetings for a little while to keep my parents off my back, but I'd go to these meetings and not hear anything, because I just wasn't ready. They say when the teacher or when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and I wasn't ready. So getting into rehab, and when I got into rehab, like just more years after that, just beat up from my addiction. I remember lying in bed that first day, and I had no sense of a higher power or God, but it was like a foxhole prayer of like, God, just tell me what I need to do to get it right this time.
Mhm.
Like, I'm just ready. I'm done. I'm banged up. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I just kind of waited around that day to like hear some kind of voice. But that night, and actually every night in treatment, two people would come in, to run a meeting, a 12-step meeting. And that first meeting, it was a Pills Anonymous meeting. And the guys came in and they said things like, go to meetings, get a sponsor, work the steps with that sponsor. And I heard it. I knew what I needed to do after day one. Now, I've been going to meetings for years before that and never heard that, even though they were saying it every single meeting.
Yeah.
And so it's like I asked God to speak to me, because I believe God speaks through the mouths of other people. Like, that's where I hear God or spirit. And I heard it. And so I know what I needed to do. And so I went all in and went in for 3 years. And then I allowed, after about 3 years, I started to stray away. And all the blessings and all the gifts that the program of recovery had given me were the things that started to take me out. I started to get things and material things and the good job. And so I strayed away, and I ended up hurting my right knee. It was a minor surgery that I had to have. And I woke up from that surgery and I loved the way that I felt. And 6 days later, I was back in the doctor's office lying about the pain, and I had been starting my relapse. And so the relapse, they say, starts before the relapse. So
Yeah.
because I had stopped doing the work and strayed away, stopped being of service, stopped working with my sponsor, stopped helping others, um, it was like I was setting myself up for it. And so that went on for like another like 10 months of a relapse. And then finally on May 5th, 2013, I had my brother drive me to detox, and I spent 5 days in detox. And I felt like I didn't necessarily need to go to treatment again. I just need to get this out of my system because I can't stop on my own. The
Mhm.
moment I took that first pill, it's like the mental obsession. There was no way I could stop. So I needed to go away 5 days, detox it all out. And I've been sober since. And like, I thought my life was over when I had to stop using and drinking and partying. And what I realized was really my life was just getting started.